Welcome back to Studio 5. It's become a statistic that does not surprise most. 1 in 3 people will struggle with mental illness at some point in their life. Adam Hornung, Director of Behavioral Health Services at LDS Hospital, is joining me to offer some insight into that. Thank you so much for being here.
You bet.
We were just chatting during the commercial break what an important role you play in our community and what an important topic this is in a day and time like this. Remind us the warning signs, Adam, that we should be watching for in ourselves but also in loved ones of anxiety and depression.
Yeah, sure. So you look at change in functioning, right? So change in their ability to do everyday tasks that seem pretty routine to a lot of us. Loss of interest in something they've enjoyed in the past, so they may stop doing some activity that they've always found enjoyment in. Change in appetite, change in sleep, could be more of an appetite, less of an appetite, could be more sleep, could be less sleep. Social withdrawal from relationships that have been pretty standard in their lives. And I think them just maybe talking about ambivalence of being around at all. So those are some of the things that we look at in terms of who may be struggling. And
if you notice those signs, those changes in behavior, yes, it's cause for concern. You should sit up and pay attention, but you say at the root of it, we should be asking ourselves one question.
Yeah, I think it's important to, it's really important to just have a conversation, right? I think that what role can I play in helping people who may be dealing with this? Because it's not if you know somebody, you do. And so I think it's important to have the courage to have a conversation, even if it might be clumsy. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's important to talk.
And I think a lot of people appreciate those words. It doesn't have to be perfect because you do feel like you're needing to go into this conversation with a great deal of sensitivity, and sometimes that ups your own anxiety about how you're dealing and how you're dancing around these words. In addition to those important conversations, you also say that positive interaction in daily life is critical to dealing with these mental illnesses. Yeah,
it's important, and that's something we talk about in terms of resiliency, right? How do we develop some resiliency even when things aren't going well? How do you have those tools in your toolkit for when you have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or even more, a bad year? And how do you connect to those things that produce some kind of meaning for you and some positive feelings about life? And so those could be relationships, it could be exercise, it could be finding a new hobby, finding a passion, just those things that, again, provide meaning to us.
If you have a loved one struggling with anxiety and or depression, sometimes there's some awkwardness not knowing how to deal on the day-to-day, if I should push them and reach out and really try to get them to those family activities or what that interaction should look like. Any advice on that?
Yeah, so those invitations mean a lot, right? I think no matter what's going on or if somebody is struggling or isn't struggling, the invitation means something, right? I think it's important also to understand that if somebody is struggling, you're not going to have a lot of success forcing your way into a conversation, right? But I think it's like with anything else, you gotta be sensitive enough to pick your spots, and when an opportunity opens, be ready, right? I think that's the best thing that we could do, is just to be ready when the moment presents itself.
Where can people go if they want more information about these types of disorders, or if they need additional help?
Yeah, so we have a website at LDS Hospital. If you Google LDS Hospital Share the Struggle, there will be some tips and tricks on how to have these conversations and what to look for.
All right, we'll link that over from our website to studio5.ksl.com. Thank you so much, really helpful.
Thank you.